Hi, it's Matt. Today we're going to take a look at this late 60s to mid 70s Corvette Funny Car with wild 70s colors. The body does flip up like a funny car should. And there's a little stand that comes down. There we go. You can see the fuel tank in front of the engine, then the engine itself, the exhaust pipes, and you can see part of the roll cage. If I lift it up a little more, you can see the roll cage better with the steering wheel and the seat. And the driver has some gauges there. So you say you don't dig the bright, groovy colors? Well, how about we go to the dark side and do this gray, black, and red paint scheme. Here you can see the Christmas tree I made for the little short videos where I have the two funny cars racing against each other. In my Mustang video, I showed the more complicated tube chassis. It is made out of some aftermarket parts that I really don't know how to source. So I figured for this Corvette, I would show a much simpler chassis. I still do some of the same tricks, like with the blower belt and the fuel tank. Check out my Mustang Funny Car video for details on how I did the belt and fuel tank. Link in the description. I didn't like how wide this valve cover came out, but you get the idea. You can adjust for your design. I'm just taking apart the valve cover so you can see what's underneath, plus part of the roll cage. These parts here are how it mounts to the underneath side of the body shell. Well, that's as far as I'm going to tear down the chassis and engine, but hopefully you can get a good idea of how to build your own chassis and engine. You may have noticed there are subtle differences between the two bodies. The first thing you can see is up front. The chin spoiler is different on each one. This is a little smaller one, and this tucks underneath, whereas this comes out. Another difference is, on this white car, I'm actually showing two different choices for setting up the A-pillars. I've got this one here with the smooth side out, and then this type with the piece upside down, which there's two of them on the dark gray one. Another difference between the two shells is the way I handle the cutout for the exhaust. This piece is oriented different on this car versus the other one, which has the studs facing on the outside. Also, the way that the body dives into the rear fender is different. This is a little chunkier here, and it goes underneath on this one. Another difference is the way these cowls are set up. And lastly, in the back, so a difference you can see is that the tail panel is recessed on the dark gray one, and it's flush on the white one. This is an approximation of a parachute, a drag chute. Here's what the white one looks like underneath. And there's what the dark gray one looks like underneath. A key for both of these cars is the fact that the back half of the car is wider than the front. This is 8 studs across. In the back is kind of a wide body, and it's 9 studs across. So we have a little offset here. Okay, so to show you how I put this together, I'm going to take it apart. Let's start with the roof. And that brings us to the tail end of this build. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I had a blast putting this together and making the video of the drag race at the beginning. If you're digging the drag cars and would like to see more, please leave a comment and be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot, y'all.